my progression to making over 26,000 edits on English Wikipedia in cumulative edits on English Wikipedia in April 2023. So cumulative count is like my total number of edits. So in this case, I'm going to kind of talk about, as viewed from the award or honor perspective, reaching 26,000 edits on English Wikipedia. I have, let me see, pull it up here. 26,000, so that was in April 2023. I reached 26,000 edits. I did not receive a thank you for making my 25,000th edit from Wikipedia like I did for the 10,000th edit. So I was like, am I in trouble with Wikipedia for making so many edits? I don't know. And then as of filming this video on Saturday, 28 October 2023, I have 26,835 live edits on English Wikipedia. So since it's October, 6 months ago, so May, June, July, August, September, October. So 6 months later, I have 26,835 live edits on English Wikipedia and 27,092 total edits across all Wikipedia projects. So that's like English Wikipedia, Italian Wikipedia, Norwegian Wikipedia, Spanish Wikipedia. Do I have French? I don't think I made French. Wikimedia Commons, Wikidata, English Wikipedia, so across all that stuff. And the numbers are per public edit counts for my account. So my account is user Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, so my username is my real name, full name. And then and they're from the Wikipedia platform XTools, which is kind of their analytics platform. So on what I'm trying to approach this award and or honor, however one wants to think about it. I classify it as award and or honor because I didn't get blocked in my progression to reaching that. I did take a long time away, like over a year, I think. It's like, or it was like 11, 12, or 13 months. I didn't edit between when I started edit. It was like April 2020 to like April 2021 approximately. So I'm not the kind of person who was like, I always have to be editing. And so I decided to take on kind of a community approach of like, since I'm writing about a bunch of people in aquatic sports or contributing to a lot of people in aquatic sports, I should make some new articles to kind of contribute. Who would I choose? And then I took on a couple of World Championships pages for 2022. Is that right? Yeah, I did World Junior Swimming Championships and then the World Short Course Swimming Championships, the 25-meter pool. And those were kind of my, like, if I'm editing in my lifetime on Wikipedia, there's a bit of, if one's contributing enough to enough swimmers or divers or artistic swimmers, pool swimmers, that kind of open water swimmers pages, I feel like it was kind of my responsibility to contribute and do one of those articles, be the person who created it and kind of followed up and curated it and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of something I viewed as a responsibility. And so I did that, and that was a huge push in 2022. It was like a bunch of edits. And then I kind of was approaching the 2023 year. There was interestingly, in my getting blocked on Friday, 16 June 2023, indefinitely, block duration infinity, I was not the only person who actually got antagonized who contributed in the aquatic sports community. I was watching other editors out there, and kind of the people who were kind of like positive fixtures in the editing space were all getting slammed. There was another person who I've brought up for like misconduct, I think the O'Neill person, but they actually got blocked. I don't remember if it was related or not. Somebody was trying to add records to a person's page, and some like a IP address was like tearing the records off the page, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this year is insane. And then I got blocked. And so there really was a progression. So I was like watching this happen, and I approached 2023 a bit different. I was like, I'm going to write about competitions. Like, people write, including myself, about the world championships or regional championships, but I'm like, that's not helpful to like get an understanding as to like, how do people kind of build up for that? And what if they achieve personal best times outside of that? So I took kind of like a bunch of the articles I had created and people, which is like what, approximately 100, and I was like, I'm going to treat this as a what the heck are they doing, and diversify the competitions represented on Wikipedia and get some of their personal best times out there and their qualifying competitions out there. And so I started doing that. And it was really kind of eye-opening. Right? Not everybody does their personal best times at a regional or world championships. They're not set up for that, right? If the person's like middle of the pack at a world championships, they're not gonna, they might not even have a time to swim. They might not have the opportunity to swim twice. So those off competitions or smaller scale will be where potentially they do their best times. And so I got to write about that and kind of see that. I was, interestingly enough, there was kind of the Jack guy who, there were editors I didn't like so much, and then editors I liked. Like, I think probably if I had like a favorite editor, it was like the Casper Italian guy, an Italian community guy or girl or whoever, contributor, and Lugnuts. I really enjoyed contributing to the Lugnuts articles, like that user created. The username is Lugnuts. They kind of let me contribute, and that was cool. And same with the Casper, was 2006 or something like that, and I would contribute to their page, but they kind of had a gear on the Italian community, and they made it feel like I was welcome on their in their community and the articles they created and stuff. And so it wasn't all bad. There were some good ones, kind of thing. However, I think it actually was kind of interesting in reaching the 26,000 edits, because it was interesting. I went to the 2023 Pac-12 Swimming and Diving Championships, both women's and men's, if we're doing chronological order. And it was interesting how much the dynamics of the editors on Wikipedia and who created the articles and how they attacked me on Wikipedia influenced who I chose to photograph when I went to the competition. So, like, for example, I didn't like the person, some of the stuff they'd done to my edits, who made the Reese Whitley article, so I didn't take a picture of Reese Whitley. And the dad of Jack Alexi, who was present when I filmed my dining out on 23 March 2023 at the Top Pot Donuts at the Edmonds Ferry Terminal. I think it was the dad of Jack Alexi who was there, who was like standing in my way, so I couldn't get in. I had to go around them, his group. And then he was the one who made the Jack Alexi page, was the Jack Alexi dad. And then he like attacked a swimmer via an article I made for the swimmer David Curtis. And I was like, you know what? And it was like right before the competition, and I was like, you know what? You're attacking me. I'm not going to take a picture of Jack Alexi, right? Like, kind of thing, which I wasn't going to do anyway. But it was just kind of like, it enters the thought processes of like, you're attacking me. I'm not going to take a picture of that swimmer, kind of thing. Oh, and people ask me, who's the best kisser between Reese Whitley, Jack Alexi, and David Curtis? And I'll be like, well, that's definitely between David Curtis and Reese Whitley, right? Kind of thing. Anyway, so it is interesting how those, if a user has attacked me, right, I don't necessarily contribute to what they made, right? Like, I'm not going to take a picture and put it on the Jack Alexi article for this person, the person who made the Jack Alexi article is the person who attacked me, right? That kind of thing. So it does matter in real life. That literally impacted my decisions of who I watched and who I photographed and who I published the photographs of, right? So it does matter in real life. And it can stifle interactions that might have been held. So there are real world and real in physical and social consequences for editors being attacking. Yeah. So it was kind of an interesting thing like that. I would say, interestingly enough, where I was going, and my kind of like concluding thing here is, in reaching the 26,000 cumulative edits, I got blocked, but I was already thinking of taking a break. I think kind of the publishing about competitions earlier in the year than the regional, like continental and world championships, I was like, I'm actually kind of ready for a break. And that was actually reflected. I made over 1,000 edits in April 2023, zoomed past 26,000 edits, and then in May, the month before I got blocked, it was like 200 and some edits. So you can actually see my thought processes a little bit and me trying to step back in my writing and contributing. So in a way, I would say I was actually thinking about doing a cold turkey stop, possibly even on my dad's birthday, which is when user Corsellis blocked me. So it's like, it was kind of a funny thing to have happen, because I was like, Well, I was already thinking about it. Or it's just externally imposed instead of me doing it myself, right? So I thought that was kind of actually intriguing. I was like, I'm interpreting this as a good sign from the universe of just step away and take a break, because I was already thinking about it, and Wikipedia doesn't want me. Well, I'm not going to contribute where I'm not wanted, right? And user Corsellis made that clear. So so it was kind of it was an intriguing thing. And then there's the, like, you know, 86 to 93% of people think I got blocked because I made more edits on the Kyle Chalmers than the Caleb Dressel page. But then there's the other, 7 to 14% where it's kind of like a spread, and one of them was that I had made over 25,000 edits using my real name, and it was kind of like, no single person should be that notable, especially since my edits were considered very positive contributions to the community. And so it was kind of, people shouldn't get famous from contributing to Wikipedia. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm famous. I don't know if, like, people, like, yeah. So yeah, it was just an interesting thing. So that's a little bit about my progression to achieving over 26,000 cumulative edits on English Wikipedia in April 2022. And my thought processes about how to contribute as I went. And I didn't only contribute to aquatic sports stuff. However, that was, like, if there was a home community, it'd probably be minerals/mineralogy and aquatic sports. I started off with the minerals stuff, and I think was my first Wikimedia Commons file was for the Burke Museum, which I went and saw went and visited in January 2020. It was a picture of the entrance because the Burke Museum had kind of been redone, so it was showing the new building, architecture kind of contribution, so to speak. But it was something I talked about with my aunt while we were in the museum, was about rocks and minerals. And so it was kind of I had kind of two home communities of mineralogy or geology and aquatic sports, and it became very much dominantly and the first article I created on Wikipedia was for euchloride. It was a mineral, and that was in 2020, January 2020. So, which I think I've brought up before. So yeah, it was interesting, and I didn't lose, while I did contribute dominantly to aquatic sports, I didn't lose I would read Wikipedia and then contribute, even if it was just like punctuation or something wasn't clear, like kind of page curation or cleanup, so to speak, but not like because there was vandalism, just because, like, help with readability. So community service edits, but also just making something I used as a resource. I have used Wikipedia far less since I stopped editing, finding other ways to find information. So there's that. But chose the approach of this award in honor of the progression, because there was a progression. And thus far, I'm like, hasn't deviated greatly. As jarring as it might be that I was thinking about taking a break anyway from my editing, I'm like, well, I was just assigned to take a break. And I appreciate that. And especially with my YouTubing and stuff, like some of the stuff I'm doing now, like the production quantity I'm doing now, I might not have been able to sustain if I had continued editing Wikipedia like I did, especially in 2022. So, happy day to you. I'm filming this on Saturday, 28 October 2023 in the city of Shoreline, King County, Washington State, United States of America, Planet Earth, the original.